Alright, I'm going to talk a little bit about fake service people. Just regular people or even military personnel who either dress up in uniform and act like they were in or add medals and ribbons and lie about what they've done. And I'm going to show you some pictures, and I went ahead and I circled in red where their errors are. Quite a few of them are things that you might not really notice unless you know a thing or two about military regulations and such. A few of them, even a civilian most likely would notice. And then I'm just going to talk a little bit. So let's get on with it. So first we got this Yahoo, and we're going to start up here. You are always clean shaven in uniform. The only exceptions would be medical, religious reasons, or like special operations and things like that. Okay, that's the only time you would ever have any facial hair except with the mustache in uniform. Secondly, you never wear two t-shirts like this. If you're going to wear two t-shirts, this is the only t-shirts they're going to see, so it doesn't matter. Um, Now, here we've got an American flag on this shoulder and an American flag on this shoulder. You only wear one flag at a time, okay? And guess what? It's on this shoulder. Now, you have U.S. Army here, but he's wearing an Air Force patch, which I'm not 100% sure that's wrong. It might be somewhat okay. Perhaps if he was attached to an Air Force unit while he was deployed, perhaps you could be authorized to wear that. I'm not sure, but most likely not. Alright, so we're actually going to start down here. But first off, U.S. Army. U.S. Army. No, this is where your name would be. Secondly, this is Air Force uniform, which is interesting because he's wearing Air Force patches. Now, I don't know. These might be the proper way to wear those patches. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know about Air Force patches. But I do know that you don't wear the American flag on this shoulder. And this Special Forces patch, it's upside down. This one's crooked. This is supposed to be a diamond, not a square. You don't wear a turtleneck in uniform. And now the hat, yeah, it's an unauthorized hat. You don't wear that headgear in uniform. Now, this is a guy who, I'm going to ignore this part right here for now. But only officers wear rank on their berets. Okay? So you would never see enlisted rank here. Secondly, you're an officer. That's officer brass. But you're enlisted. Now, you have an infantry corps, which means you're currently in an infantry billing. And now, I don't know, maybe officers don't wear the blue discs, but infantry wears, or infantry enlisted wears blue discs behind their insignia here. Now, over here, yeah, this is just all jacked up. This is just up here, not so much. And I'm not going to go through and look at them all to see if they're in the proper order or anything like that. But look at that. That's supposed to be straight. That's supposed to be straight. That's supposed to be straight. That's supposed to be stacked like this. I mean, when you wear ribbons or medals, they are stacked like that, but they're straight. They're dress right dress is the term in the military. Not all jacked up like this. I mean, that's just wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that might actually be backwards. I can't really tell in the picture. But, you know. And this guy right here. Now, I'm not going to say anything about wearing your headgear indoors because you're at home, so whatever. But you don't have exposed tattoos. Okay? And this, all of this, should be on this side. That should be over here. Your name tape goes on this side. Now, if you sit there and say, oh, it's reversed, well then how come I can read that? So this Yahoo, first off, you should have rank up here. Of course, actually, maybe not, because he's absolutely nothing. Which is interesting, because you're wearing a Special Forces tab, which means you're at least a sergeant. Secondly, you don't wear colored tabs and ACUs. You also don't wear that. Well, I mean, you would wear it, but it wouldn't be the colored EIB. It might be a CIB, I can't really tell. But it definitely looks like an F3 badge of some sorts. Secondly, there is no sniper tab. And again, clean shaven. This Yahoo's is full of fun. First off, we're going to start right here. Not 100% sure, but I think these are Air Force badges. And I don't know of any badges you wear on your left side in ACUs. And now this is upside down officers Special Forces insignia. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think these are mini badges, which you would not wear in ACUs. Now, it's not uncommon, or it wouldn't be impossible for this guy to have 3 combat infantryman badges. That means he would have to have served in the War on Terrorism, Somalia, and Desert Storm. Okay, all 3 of those he'd have to be infantry during. And I don't think anybody who's been in combat in 3 different major conflicts would wear this like that, or this. Your rank's upside down, dude. Really? If you can look down and it looks right, it's wrong. Now this Yahoo, again, well, there's nothing, I guess, wrong with it, but Special Forces, right? Then why are you wearing an earring in uniform? Then this Yahoo, wrong t-shirt. Again, things like this you might not know. Regular civilian folk. So, there you go. Alright, ignore the microphone. The audio sucks, so I use the microphone. The reason this bothers me is, for one, you are staining the memory of real soldiers and other service personnel. Okay? When I tell people I was in the Army, it's like, now I have to prove it. Even if I just say I was in, I went through basic and that was it, I still have to, like, prove it. Because so many people out there are lying. Secondly, you might be stealing benefits that should be going to somebody who actually did serve. There are many cases I've read where fake service personnel have went to the VA and actually got veterans benefits, and they didn't do anything. I mean, they weren't even in basic training. They never enlisted at all. I heard about one case. This guy, he actually was in a town, and somebody gave him $500. People paid for his hotel room. People bought him meals, and it was all just a lie. Another thing is we who have served. And again, even if you just graduated basic training today, we all have a minimal amount of brotherhood amongst ourselves. I mean, we at least all have experienced basic training. That is something that you earn. That is something that separates you from the rest of society. Like a club, you know? We paid our dues. You haven't. You don't get to wear our uniforms. You don't get to wear our emblems. You haven't earned that. You haven't paid for that yet. Okay? I mean, I know that sounds like really petty and stuff, but it's like if somebody was walking around with a Freemason lapel pin and they weren't a Mason, Masons would not like that. We don't like it either. I mean, even if you're just walking around with a gym membership you didn't pay for, Why? You know, it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not that hard to survive basic training. You shut up, do what you're told, and as long as you can run a decent speed, do some push-ups and sit-ups and such, you're pretty much gonna make it. It's not that difficult. So just go and do it. That's the thing. They don't want to. They want to get the respect. They want to get the notoriety. They want to get the claim to fame, if you will, whatever, without actually doing the work. And that's why I don't like it. I mean, just that by itself. Those who fake being in the military, and there's two different groups to me. There's the ones who've never been in and the ones who lie about their service. If you've never been in, you're just a scuzzbag, you know? I mean, I don't care if you're just lying to your friends to make yourself look cool. You're not. You're an idiot. Now, if you lie about your service, that's dishonor. Why would you lie about what you did? I mean, I don't. I mean, I'll tell anybody. I never served in combat. The only time I left the base was to go to parties. My tour overseas was like, well, I wouldn't say great, but not bad at all. I mean, it sucked. We were pretty much limited to base. We could only go to like the embassy in certain approved locations. But no one was trying to kill us. You know, I mean, that in itself ain't too bad. I slept in a bed. Come on. I had a bathtub. The only time in the military I ever had a bathtub, okay? I don't lie about it. I don't talk about it sometimes. To me, that's a lot more fun. You know, people say, so what'd you do overseas? Not much. Let their imagination run wild. I don't have to lie to them. They can lie to themselves about what I did. So, yeah, there you go. Have fun.